Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Enjoying the summer. Bro, it's almost August. It feels like we were talking about the fucking Juneteenth pop-out show like last week. So like it just feels like everything is flying by. Cause I remember like at that point, you're like, the summer's over. I'm like, not really. And now I'm like, kind of.
Yeah. No, exactly.
But life is good, bro. I've officially become a mid 30-year-old. I play pickleball now once a week. So that's been a new addition, which has been fun. So I'm hoping, bro, between that, working out, lifting weights, I'm like, bro, if I don't get the body I want by the age of 36, like it's not going to happen. I'm just going to give up on life. But I'm going to use these next couple months to get back in the best shape of my life. But besides that, bro, no complaints, man. How about you? Excited to hear about the trip. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, just got back from Vegas yesterday. Really smooth trip. Thankfully, because I mean, Vegas is one of those places where it's just busy and chaotic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did Vegas win or did you guys win?
We won. We didn't gamble, but we won in terms of
and then like, it didn't kick your ass. Yep.
I mean, not gonna lie, we were pretty tired yesterday, but fortunately things went smooth. I would say that like if there was gonna be a hiccup, essentially we got or made reservations for the DJ Mustard table. It was Sarah's coworker, and I guess Sarah didn't really clarify which table we wanted. He thought we wanted the cheapest one, which is outside by the pool area, kind of away from the DJ and inside where most people are going to be. So we were kind of like panicking, like, oh shit, you know, it's hot. We're going to be outside away from the action. Like, did we make a mistake? Can we even upgrade? But long story short, it ended up being preferable to the inside area. The club bouncer or whatever staff outside was super honest with us. He's like, you probably rather be outside even though it's half the price. Yeah, so we're like, oh, golden, like we're paying less and we're in a better area, like, you know, no complaints at all.
So what made it a better area though?
I think so we had like access to the like TV screen. You're outside. I mean, we thought it was going to be too hot, but it was actually pretty windy, which kind of helped with the breeze and everything. And I don't know, I think just the vibe outside felt more like vacation than being trapped in a dark ass corner where we wouldn't have been able to see anything anyways, really. So it kind of worked out in that sense.
Nice. So when you say that you had access to the TVs, like you had access, like, so like his live set, you were able to like kind of see?
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, we weren't like really paying attention to it anyways. We were kind of just chit chatting with each other and like vibing out to the songs. Cause I mean, a DJ is just DJing. They're not really doing much. So you're not going to just stare at him like pressing buttons. And he's not one of the like Steve Aoki where he's standing on the table and throwing cakes and shit. Like it's just a standard DJ
He's
set.
just doing his set. Well, was there, so minimal talking by him?
Yeah, very minimal talking. There was no like focus on Kendrick or even his new album all that much. It was like just a good West Coast themed kind of standard Vegas party, you could say.
Nice. So how would you rate the music itself then?
The music itself, out of 10, I'd probably say a solid 8. It was better than the last time I had seen him at that other club. I think this one felt much more like an actual show versus the other one.
Nice. So so he leaned towards like what, like Ty Dolla $ign, like more up tempo LA music, or?
Yeah, I would say it was a mix, like even like older Bay Area songs. I'm not too sure how you're familiar with them, because I know in California, like in high school, they were pretty big, but like you would know if you heard it. But do you know Keek the Sneak?
No, bro.
So yeah, he's more like niche. It's Bay Area. It's like E40. You know how E40 like doesn't get played much outside of California.
Yeah, unless it's like a crazy banger. Like I remember like when Ghost Ride the Whip.
Right. Yeah, that was everywhere.
Yeah, I was everywhere, bro. I was in India. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, perfect example of it going global. But it was a variety of West Coast tracks across different time periods. It didn't go too far back. It was like I think 2000s and up.
Okay.
And it like standard shit, a lot of YG and whatever else. So It was
Nice.
a nice balance.
Nice. So good overall trip. Like again, it wasn't too hectic. You know.
No, I would actually say the highlight was the hotel. So we stayed at the Waldorf, and it kind of felt like almost like an upscale apartment complex. Like no casino, so no smoke and foot traffic and
Oh, nice.
long ass elevator lines. It was just like its own separate thing.
Off the
No
strip or
day
on the
clubs.
strip?
Technically off the strip. It's near the Cosmo.
Okay.
You just have to cross a bridge. So it wasn't like out of the way either to the point where like it's an inconvenience. And there's no day club, so the pool's like clean. There's only like 8 people in it, not fucking 45.
Because everyone's
drunk-ass people.
at a day club, right, or something.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very low key. So everyone in the group was like, if we ever come back here, this is the only hotel we're gonna stay at.
Yeah. Because you have to be really trying to fly in for a day party to make it like to even like kind of like get the energy, bro. Because that's such a the moment you walk in, you're like, all right, bro, you got to be on 10. Because if you're even at 9, you're like, oh, bro, this is so overwhelming.
Right. No, we kept it chill during the day. It's nice to just have a drink and not have 100 people around you screaming and jumping around.
Yeah, dude, that's like dude, just getting older, bro. Like we just appreciate things differently. Like it's just it's not sad to say, just like the fucking reality of it, bro. I'd much rather have a chill dinner somewhere and know I'm gonna get home at like 9 and as opposed to like just bouncing from bar to bar, like, all right, bro, when does this fucking end kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, overall really solid trip.
Nice, man. Love it. So we'll get into it then. Based off that, we'll transition. So you saw Mustard, right? So as we kick off episode 187, we're only a couple days removed from DJ Mustard's new album dropping. I think it's called, was it?
Faith of a Mustard Seed?
Faith of a Mustard Seed. Mustard Seed, sorry. 14 tracks, a little bit less than an hour. What was your thought on the release itself?
I mean, I'll be honest, my expectations were high just because I was like, I'm gonna spend a bunch of money to see him in a few days.
Okay, so you were hoping for like a whole like big rollout, like let's get excited about this set because of the album too.
Yeah, and just the momentum of Not Like Us and Kendrick. I'm just thinking like it has to be like really good at the most basic level, but I would say I was kind of disappointed. I just expected more undeniable bangers. Not Like Us obviously is hard to match, but I figured out of like the 14 15 songs that there would at least be like 4 or 5, but it seems like two of the songs I liked and really liked, and one of them I had already heard 3 weeks ago or whatever. The
Parking Lot.
Yeah. And then the Vince and Schoolboy I thought was
fire,
amazing. That's probably my favorite one off the album. But the rest of it, I just kind of felt like I've already heard it before from Mustard. So I was like, it is what it is. It's not bad. It's just not anything brand new.
Were you surprised that it wasn't really? Because even the Vince and Schoolboy Q one, which I agree was really good. What was the song called?
Pressure It Up.
Pressure It Up? Yeah, Pressure It Up. So even that one, though, wasn't very up-tempo. So were you surprised that it wasn't really that energy?
Yeah. And I listened to it several times afterwards, and I was like, okay, this could go at a club. But yeah, it wasn't as up-tempo as standard Mustard tracks that I have heard before and you've heard before. I'm not mad at it. I still think they did their thing. I was just kind of surprised that it wasn't more up-tempo.
That song or the album in general?
The album in general, for sure, and that song to a degree.
Yeah, so for me, the album, I think, again, because I think on the last song, I mean, I'm confident that's the Pray For Me, which is like just a very long like outro. He explains, he gives shout out to Kendrick for, hey, because of Kendrick, I didn't need a rollout. And I'm like, bro, I kind of wish you had a rollout, or at least like, I mean, maybe it was on purpose, bro. But like this essentially almost felt like his version of like a ghetto gospel album, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I appreciate that, but that definitely wasn't the energy I was thinking when I pressed play, Like it felt like his version of like a Kanye Life of Pablo. Again, when you start the album off with a Kirk Franklin, feature, you don't really think it's going to lean in completely. But that's kind of what this felt like. And I'm like, that doesn't really go, again, Parking Lot and Not Like Us as the most like, biggest songs you have before dropping this. It just seems odd that those are essentially the singles that we're thinking we're gonna get, and then the album starts and then it finishes. You're like, bro, like what energy am I meant to listen to this in?
Yeah, it seems like there was a mismatch with the tone.
Yeah,
just like you mentioned, we go from like a club banger about PDF files,
yeah.
and then Travis getting arrested like the day of the drop, and they're in a club doing donuts and shit in the car or a parking lot, and then we have a bunch of like gospel tracks and stuff, which aren't horrible. It's just
horrible, bro. Like it's confusing. It's very confusing, and also it doesn't really feel like it was grabbing the essence of like the momentum that was created over the last 2 to 3 months. I think it felt very much like, oh, I've always been thinking about dropping a gospel type hip hop type production album. Let me do it now since everyone's gonna get everyone peeped, right? If this Mustard album dropped with no Not Like Us in existence, I probably wouldn't check it out, right? But he knew everyone was gonna listen, right? So again, kudos to him for taking advantage of it. But I can also see there's a story here to be told where I can also see the momentum stopping for him, right? Because I don't think this is going to be the album that propels more people to be like, oh, dude, when's that next Mustard feature going to drop, right? It just, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm like, I don't want to come across as a hater, but like I'm kind of glad you had this same thought, because I finished this album thinking like, bro, is that what I was looking for? Like this wasn't it for me.
And I hate that, like, sometimes I'll go to the internet to see if I'm crazy.
What the comments say? I didn't even get a chance to peek.
A lot of people actually, at least on Reddit and, Joe Budden and those guys, like, they all seem to really enjoy this album.
Interesting.
So it seems like it's an unpopular opinion that, we're expecting more. But to your point, I think this album must have already been in the works and mostly finished, and I think he just got lucky with the Not Like Us momentum, and he's like, fuck it, it's now or never. So
I think that's
why
bro.
There's such a disconnect.
Yeah, I think so, bro, because it wouldn't make sense. Again, the album didn't feel rushed, right? The production was very thought out. The features felt very thought out. Again, these aren't poor executed songs. It just felt like I didn't think I was going to be listening to this at the gym. I thought this is about to be, like you said, where are the bangers, bro? I'm thinking I'm getting at least 3 new anthems for the rest of the year that I can just, hear the Mustard intro on and then lose my mind to. And that really didn't happen. And then again, bro, I really don't want to hate on any one person, but bro, I get that they're boys, but he got to stop giving Roddy Ricch all these chances, bro. Like I think that time has come and went. Like, dude, there was a moment in time when he was that dude and he capitalized, but bro, like, I don't think he has it anymore, bro. Like, I don't want to be a hater, but bro, like he had it like on 2 songs, and I'm like, man, this ain't it. This ain't it.
That's another unpopular opinion, one that I agree with, but people in the comments ironically were saying DJ Mustard brings the best out of Roddy Ricch. You and I,
bro,
the biggest fans of that combination, at least as of late.
As of late, yeah, for sure. But yeah, dude, I thought so what were other songs that stood out to you? I think I like the Kodak Black one. I don't think it's a surprise based on what we've been listening from him on these, features recently. I'm also convinced that like Quavo has dirt on someone, bro, because we can get him out of here, bro. Like these, like I haven't heard a good Quavo song in like since like Rest in Peace to like Takeoff, like from that album days. Cause like, man, like every time he pops up on something, I'm just like, bro, like who enjoys this, bro? So like, yeah, man, what song stood out to you besides the Pressured Up in Parking Lot?
I mean, the Quavo one, I actually was trying to really hard to like, because I'm like, that's one of the only ones that could be considered a banger.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't even really want to hear this live or on my phone. So I quickly, consider that one to be somewhat.
And there was also a little bit where it felt like I think, because again, not to be a dick, but I think Quavo's more talented as like a hook writer, and like I think he also produces beats. Because like, dude, like that song also sounds like I heard it before with his ad libs. So it's like it doesn't even sound nuanced. So like even if Mustard's giving him a fire production to use, it's just like I feel like I've heard this Quavo song before. So that was like my issue with it.
I think that too, and then the beat itself, I felt like I had already heard. Because what was the last Mustard Quavo collab they had?
Oh, I don't even know, bro.
All the Rich Want Her, like whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely know that remix song. Of that. So for me, I think my issue was just a lot of these songs sounded like I had heard them before, and then otherwise it was just too down tempo, like the Ella. Is it Ella Mai?
Yeah, they try to recreate 911 by Mary J. Blige and Wyclef Jean, which again I appreciate the like nod to that time, but bro, that's a classic song. So unless you're gonna make that shit better, bro, like don't even try. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't a shot like to freestyle and see what happens. You know, this is meant to be. Again, you're the premier. There's no hotter DJ in America right now besides DJ Mustard. So again, it just felt like, yeah, man, let me take advantage of this momentum. I was already working on this, and then I'll get you on the next one. And it's like, again, that bro, I think history has proven to a lot of people, you can't really assume the fans are going to tune back in, right? Like you can't just give them something and like, oh, it's okay. They'll get it later on. I'm like, not really, bro, because there was also like a 4 or 5 year stretch that no Mustard song was really hitting like that, right? So we can easily be back in that era if, again, just based off this. Again, I know, bro, that's crazy that the comments are saying that, bro, because I tried to listen for a second time and I was like, bro, I'm not doing it. Like I'm not, like I'll give it a couple weeks before I try again, but I'm like, yo, this isn't one that I play back to back.
Yeah. And I think what's tricky too with conventional albums where it's like a rapper, a lot of times they're working with different producers, or if they're not, they're like trying to approach each song differently. And these like compilation type albums like DJ Khaled and stuff are just always so hit or miss for me. Like I'm just handpicking like 2 or 3 tracks and then moving on. And also a lot of the people he tends to work with are like from the West Coast, similar approach to like every song, and then before you know it, it feels like one long ass song or like 2 or 3 long ass songs. So I also just wish there was a bit more variety too.
Bit of variety. Yeah. And it sucks, man, because you don't want to give it a bad grade because you know there's like craftsmanship here. Again, it's essentially a gospel album in a weird way too. So you're not trying to poo-poo that.
Yeah.
But just like, bro, it's like someone brings you to an event and you find out it's like a choir band. You're like, all right, bro, I'm not going to hate this, but I also wasn't told this was the plan. Like, that's kind of what I feel about it. And again, it was just ironic at the end of it where he's like, I didn't even need a rollout. I'm like, bro, I kind of wish you did, bro. Like, tell us this is what you're going to give us because, again, I would have made decisions prior.
Yeah, no, fully agree. I mean, I don't know what his next move is, but I think, or I really hope he gets back to that like 2014 run or whatever he had and just sticks to like the club bangers with a variety of people that we can appreciate.
Yeah, I feel like that's not even a rude thing to say, considering you just saw him at a club, bro. He's always at clubs DJing. So, bro, like this is what you do. So, like, I'm not even trying to put you in a box, bro. Like, you've asked us to put you in that box because that's what you do. So, like, again, I appreciate the artistic ideas here, but yeah, dude, I guess a gospel album from him just wasn't like what I was expecting. But again, to each their own. Faith of a Mustard Seed. Again, not a long listen, so you may enjoy it. Check it out. Available everywhere. What would you give it on a ranking scale of 10?
Ranking scale of 10? Probably have to say like 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna agree with you because I don't want to go less and come across as a West Coast hater. So I'm gonna leave it at 6. Audio Theory goes with 6 out of 10. That's it.
I would say it's barely above average for me, and also the scale, I'm comparing it to like what I know he's capable of too.
Yeah, dude, when he just gave us a 12 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 with like those 2 songs leading up, like that's the standard, right? So yeah, very interesting, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little comment dive myself because I wasn't expecting you to say that people were saying this was like a really good album. All right, all good. All right, so should we go to Rich the Kid that we kind of skipped last week, or do you want to do the Diamante Gordo was it collaboration album? I guess.
Yeah, we can do the Gordo one.
All right, bro. So Gordo, I don't know if he goes by DJ Gordo, but Gordo dropped Diamante. So ironically, he also dropped a collab album. This album is 16 songs as well, a little bit over an hour. It's a little bit longer than Mustard. Couple Drake features, dude. I'm gonna say it right now. That Larry June feature is phenomenal, bro. Like maybe that's the niche that I like Larry June. Like Larry June just talking, right, and not rapping. Lake Cuomo, but
yeah.
So your thoughts on, again, it doesn't have to be a Drake focused thing, but your thoughts on the body of work itself.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really know anything about Gordo prior to this release. Obviously Drake kind of stole the headlines in terms of this rollout, at least for me.
Sure.
And listening to it, didn't really have much expectation on what it should sound like or how good it would be. I love house music. I'd say overall for me, the album just felt somewhat generic to me. Not in a bad way. I mean, I think for house music, like I'm not really expecting a whole lot anyways. It's more of like background music to me. I'm never really sitting there like trying to dissect the music and the meaning behind it. I'm like, the beats sounds good. I don't care how repetitive.
From a lyrical standpoint, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, I don't know if I necessarily would revisit this album. Probably have to listen to it a bit more to figure out what like a standout track for me would be. I thought the Young Dolph one was pretty cool, but besides that, it was just whatever. Like I'm not super excited about it overall.
Got it. All right. So dude, I'm gonna go then the opposite on you on this one, because again, similar though, I didn't have any expectation. I think that helps, dude. I mean, because I think some of the reasons we didn't really care for Mustard, because I think our expectations were like at a fucking 10. So like anything less than perfection, we're like, oh bro, what happened here? Whereas with Gordo, I don't know anything besides that he helped produce Honestly Nevermind, right? So I was going into it thinking, is this like a fucking another version of that, in the sense of like, is every other song going to be Drake? And then I was like, oh, there's only 2 Drake songs here? Okay, let's see. And then I saw like other names that we know, right? Like the Leon Bridges, Larry June, T-Pain, Maluma. The Young Dolph thing got me excited, but I know it's further down the song. So I was all right, man. This might be a proper like vibe setter. Bro, I really enjoyed this, bro. So I enjoy houses a lot. I listen to a lot of Oliver, the guy from OVO. I think he's actually Drake's manager or something. Like he does a lot of these sets that are, kind of this sound. Man, I really enjoyed it, bro. Like a lot of the songs. Like I enjoyed, out of the 2 Drake songs, I thought Sideways was very good. I didn't care for Healing, because Healing came across like a very generic house song that it's like you're kind of just waiting for the beat drop, and then it's like the same shit over and over again. But bro, Sideways was very good. The Larry June Lake Cuomo song was very good. I mean, funny enough, I thought about you because we were just talking about T-Pain a couple weeks ago. Bro, that T-Pain song's a banger. Bro, Candid Zone with Leon Bridges, a banger. And out of those 4 Spanish songs, the one with Fied, Hombres y Mujeres, bro, that one is playing. If we were Medellin tonight, that one's playing 10 times in a row, bro. So like, I would highly recommend. Again, it might be the setting you're in. Because bro, I was in my backyard. I had some things smoking in the air. I had a glass of wine in my hand. Like the vibe was meant for like, dude, this. I told my boy Sam, I'm like, bro, this is like yacht in Santorini, like, but not a party boat. Like just like everyone lounging, enjoying the good life type music, bro. Like again, the same thing I said to Honestly Nevermind, because I just so happened to be in Italy at the time of that album drop. Like I think this gears towards like, let's enjoy life in the most lavish way, but let's be like calm about it. Like this felt like a very dope chill house album that, bro, I've played this shit like, not gonna lie to you, bro, like 3 times fully through, and only skip like, honestly, I only skip the Spanish songs because I'm like, bro, I'm not really in the mood for like, because like those songs kind of change a little bit of the tone of the music.
The tone is different.
Yeah, it became like a reggaeton like slightly house beat as opposed to like like it just didn't flow for me. So if we could do without all those Spanish songs, that is like almost like a perfect for what I look for in a house album.
Yeah, no, Lake Como is super fire. That might be my favorite song on there.
And he's just, dude, but imagine how talented you have to be to just talk shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no rapping here, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is his rapping is kind of like talking shit on beat and rhyming, obviously.
But there's like his pace is a little bit more accelerated on his own shit. Whereas like this is literally him just like talking. But bro, like that Lake Como song is fire.
And he's got that almost like, I don't know, Barry White like player, deep voice, like radio host type voice. So yeah, that song's super dope. I think I agree with what you're saying about it being kind of situational, because I know when the Mine K Tronada album came out, I was on vacation, but I also like wasn't in like the headspace or mood to like listen to that for whatever reason.
Right.
Whereas if I was like by the jacuzzi with a margarita and just zoning out, then like this might be the best musical gift ever for the week. So I think that was part of the issue for me is just the variety of music coming out once and then handpicking what I'm trying to listen to in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. But again, for me not knowing anything about Gordo, again, I was pretty impressed, bro. And it didn't feel, again, I know the marketing, because even on his TikTok, bro, because it popped up because I liked a few things. It's like, if you liked Honestly Nevermind, you're gonna love this, right? So I get that. But again, if you're a DJ that no one really knows in mainstream America, I get you're gonna, put your allegiance to either the second or most famous rapper in the world, right? But I think once you listen to the album, it doesn't feel like this is a heavy, hey, let's make Drake popular again. Drake was one of the features, probably one of the better ones, but if there's probably like 3 other songs that you could say are better than that Sideways song. So I think that's a credit to just Gordo, like creating a good, again, because dude, this shit's really hard to make a cohesive album when you're the DJ and you're gonna have 17 different artists, right? So it felt kind of cohesive, again, minus the Spanish parts, but even the Spanish parts itself together was kind of cohesive, right? So like I kind of get, I'm pretty sure he's like half Hispanic though. So I give him credit for that. And bro, I loved that the song Honeyland with Afsin Momadi. It was like the Arabic song. Bro, that one is for sure on a boat, chilling, dog. Like clear blue seas, hookah in the back, bro. Like, dog, like that shit was a vibe, bro. So yeah, I really think it's again, I was just in this energy as well because we went to a barbecue on Saturday and we were just like chilling, drinking, relaxing. So like it was that energy of being outside and just like you want to talk to your friend, but you also want to have like very good loungy music in the back. And I think this is exactly what this is meant for.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at the release at all. And I do also appreciate that Drake wasn't like the overwhelming focus, because like when there's news articles about like this streamer is playing this leak from this person, and it's all curated and planned and shit, and they're trying to force the narrative, like with Camila Cabello, like they were talking about that song forever and you're just expecting it to be the greatest thing ever, whereas this, it was just like a matter of fact, hey, Drake happens to be featured. So I definitely am gonna revisit it just because I feel like I'm lacking in terms of good new house music, but the Larry June one was super fire. Yeah,
super fire. And again, if you're at the jacuzzi, are you still doing the jacuzzi, by the way, in the heat right now? Or is it kind of like...
No, well, it kind of worked out because I got a tat in June and you're not supposed to submerge it. So I hadn't been using the jacuzzi for a while.
Okay.
But it's so fucking hot. Like I could only use it at like 9 o'clock at night.
Got it. Yeah, because I was about to say, because there was a jacuzzi at the barbecue I was at, and I was like, bro, it's fucking 94 degrees. We're not doing a jacuzzi right now, bro.
The crazy thing is there was a jacuzzi in Vegas and people were in it, and it was literally 110 degrees. So I don't know if those people are still alive, but they were in it for a good like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but Vegas is also weird. Dude, how was the food in Vegas, by the way? Because some of the spots you posted looked dope.
It was phenomenal. So I mean, I'm a sucker for Asian food, but the first night we went to a Japanese barbecue spot. It and that was strategic because we didn't want to spend too much money on food throughout the trip, and this was like a $40 all you can eat type
Ooh,
thing,
dope.
and it was there was a lot of stuff that I hadn't eaten before. Like there's crab legs that was marinated in some sauce that was really good, and like I'm not a big wasabi person, but they had these little like kind of rice rolls with a dash of wasabi on it, and then if you pair it with the meat, like it just gives it this crazy good kick. So that was phenomenal. And then the second night was, I think it was like kind of like Chinese fusion. I'm not too sure, but uh, a lot of the dishes were kind of a mixture of Chinese food with a bit of Japanese influence.
Okay.
I think in some instances, and yeah, it was just overall super fire. So if I ever go back to Vegas, those are two places I definitely want to hit up.
Oh,
again.
they're that good. Like you wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, I would 100%.
Nice, nice. So the crew was Sarah's crew, your wife's crew, or this was like a mixture of like crews?
Mixture. So Sarah's sister and her boyfriend, and then Sarah's coworker and his wife.
Dope,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, like, again, it felt like a very from what you like shared. It felt like a very like I'm not saying well organized, but like very efficient. Like, all right, let's go have a good time. Let's go there. Let's go do that, and then we're done. Because then it was like
Yeah.
that, and then your cats. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it was like we had like 4 things planned. We had the reservations ready to go. And then yeah, like that just made it super smooth.
Yeah, no, dude, it looked fire, bro. But yeah. So I guess when you have some downtime in the jacuzzi, makes sense. I think Diamante would be a good one. Definitely hookah in hand for the for that third song. But I guess let's do one more full album review before we move on. Rich the Kid, the week prior to this, we were off. Drop Life's a Gamble. This is 17 songs, 40 minutes. Again, I know we've spoken about Rich the Kid in the past, so we're kind of surprised when he has certain features. Like, bro, how the fuck does he get these cosigns? It also makes sense why he tweeted that whole thing about Kanye's retirement, right? Because I think that created a buzz, and it's like, oh, he's dropping an album in 2 days, shocker, kind of a thing. So, what were your thoughts on the album itself?
Overall, I think it was a fun listen. I'm noticing with Rich the Kid, like personally, I don't know if I necessarily want to hear 17 songs in a row from him, just because I think he.
I mean, but clearly they're all fucking short as shit, though. Like the songs are, the songs are very short.
Yeah, I mean, so that definitely does help, but as like a trap, I guess trap would be a genre artist. Like overall, I think he's generally kind of generic. He has his moments here and there, like Carnival, for instance, that are completely or like more so original. But for me, I think I walked away like just grabbing a couple songs that I want to revisit. I still think he's great. I think I do prefer him as like a featured artist. But overall, I think of the older class of rappers, like during that mumble era, he's still one of my favorites. I think he just keeps it simple, and I do appreciate that. But I think it also, for me at least, sometimes gets a little tiresome.
Yeah, so that's why I agree with you. So I actually treat him, especially after listening to this, bro. So 17 songs seems a lot, but again, they're all pretty short. This felt like a playlist, right? And he has such high energy from the beginning that, dude, from the jump, I was like, all right, bro, like, fuck, I haven't heard a Rich the Kid album in a minute, but I was fine with this, right? And there were a couple of stands out to me. I enjoyed the French Montana one, Upside Down, Not in the Mood with Offset. Bro, I love the one with him and Bia, like Yoga. I fucking love that song. And I definitely enjoyed Plain Jane with Kanye. Bro, I don't know if it's me. Maybe I've been in a fucking cave all this time. Bro, give me a second. The original version with Peso, was it Peso Pluma? Bro, I've never heard a Peso Pluma song before that. Like, I'm obviously aware of him, but I've never sat down and listened to any of his music. Yeah. And I was like, bro, this is what he sounds like? Like, I was thinking this guy was like the greatest Spanish hip hop artist of all time, the way he's spoken about, bro. And I'm like, bro, this sounds like, if anything, like almost like demonic. Like, he sounds so like vampire-y,
some shit.
like evil and shit. So it's like, I'm like, bro, like I was actually annoyed even listening to that song at the beginning of the album. But besides that, dude, I just thought this was like a really like, dude, very simple lyrics. He's not trying to educate you on anything besides I like to have a good time. I like to fuck bitches. I like to go out party. I have a lot of money, right? And then sometimes, bro, that's all you fucking need if you're trying to have a good workout, or if you're trying to just like, I have a quick drive to fucking the supermarket and I want some upbeat shit before I go pregame. Like, like that's what this felt like. So I wouldn't even put this song, in order, but I would shuffle it and just listen to it again because it just felt like a good playlist. If you heard one song, you kind of heard them all, but you don't mind if it goes on a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's exactly the mindset I had from it. Wasn't expecting all that much, but I do agree there are some standout tracks on there, and it makes for a good playlist for sure.
Dude, it's still very interesting though how he gets so many cosigns though.
I don't. We never like. I know we brought it up several times, but I don't think we've ever identified why.
Why? Like besides him being like maybe he's like the coolest person to hang out with, and people are like, yo, bro, I'll give you a feature, right?
Yeah.
Or unless he's paying crazy money for features, but it's like, how, bro? Like, how are you? Again, I'm not saying he's broke, but like, how are you able to constantly afford these many quality features or these many quality artists to give you a feature?
Also, not to judge him, but like, I don't know, he just seems like he's always in another world and like super laid back and not just not grinding as much as he actually seems to be, if that makes sense.
Right, because he clearly is grinding. Because if you look at his like discography or whatever the correct way to pronounce that word is, like, bro, since like 2018, he's been releasing music nonstop. Mm-hmm. So it's either for him or a feature, or he's in fucking Dubai for a year, it seemed, and performing there. So like,
right,
it seems like this guy is actually like hustling. But yeah, like his approach is so laid back. I don't know, bro. But yeah, dude, when I saw the track list, I'm like, bro, he got 2 Kanye features. He got Chief Keef to come out of fucking nowhere. I was like, bro, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. And I know he's always. I don't know if he just has a really strong team that knows what they're doing, but he's constantly working with international artists, and maybe it's as simple as that. Like he's just out there networking, and all these other rappers have too much of an ego to like do shit for free or here and there for like the long-term benefit. Like maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Or maybe he has like, I mean, more, like maybe like he has a good label deal where it's like he's super independent. So like if you do a feature with him, you get like a bigger cut or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro.
His own situation going on, so that could
that might be it. But yeah, and again, kudos to him, bro. Again, life's a gamble. Rich the Kid. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. What would you give that album, like a ranking out of 10?
Out of 10, I don't know, a solid 7, 6.5, 7.
Yeah, I would go 7.5. Maybe like the 7.5 is just out of pure enjoyment of it. But again, bro, if you would have told me Thursday night that passed that I would give a higher ranking score to Rich the Kid over DJ Mustard's brand new album, Post Not Like Us, bro, like, yeah, bro, I could have made a lot of money on that bet, bro, because there'd be no fucking way. But yeah, that's just crazy again when people, again, dude, I think this is the point that, what was it? Wes said on the show like a couple years ago, like, bro, like albums are so hard to create, bro. And a cohesive album is even harder. And dude, when you see like your favorite artist striking out on albums, you're like, damn, bro, this shit must be really fucking hard now. Because again, bro, it's a skill that a lot of people don't possess. And we're seeing artists after artists just miss when they put out like 14, 15 song projects.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
it's just
Rich the Kid did he have a single leading up to this one?
Not that I fucking knew of.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think the
like besides Carnival, I think he used Carnival as like a build up and then dropped this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, because I don't think any of these songs were released before, except maybe the Peso Pluma one, but clearly that one wasn't like a smash hit or anything.
No, I mean, yeah, for sure, that was the first time I ever heard it. But yeah, kudos to him, bro. Kudos to him. So go peep that if you haven't yet. Probably may add one of those songs over time to the Heat of the Week playlist. So I guess quick shout out to Tory Lanez. He dropped I Wish I Never Met You. He's dropping music now from jail. He said him and his engineer figured out a way for it to sound nice. Did you get a chance to hear that song?
I did. It sounded very clear. So he recorded that in prison?
That's what he's saying.
Wow. Well, shout out to his engineer, because that shit sounded clearer than people who are free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and back to my point earlier, I think not earlier, like, dude, remember, like, dude, when Young Thug dropped his album, I was thinking we're getting that, bro. Like fucking, you know, you have essentially a studio through the phone, and then you have all this money, so your engineer's gonna figure it out, bro. So again, for all those people who trolled me in the comment section, like, this is what I was expecting, and Young Thug's a way bigger artist than Tory Lanez. But I love Tory Lanez, bro. So I'll die on that hill. He's actually releasing merch that says "Free Tory." I'll probably cop a hat or something. But yeah, dude, if we're gonna get like a song a week or a song a month from him until he releases or whatever, I'm not mad at it, dude. It was a good song. It sounded like every other Tory Lanez song. Yeah. But if you like Tory Lanez, you're not mad at it. Yeah,
I feel the same way about it. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, but I was like, clearly he hasn't lost his talent. He seems in good enough spirits to at least make good songs still, and I just hope as he releases more, there'll be one that kind of sticks and brings back some excitement, because I feel like he's one of the people that are no longer in the really part of the industry that we kind of need to keep the genre going, because I think he's very charismatic and talented, and
in his own way.
Yeah, in his own way. And during the quarantine, that became abundantly clear. So I hope his situation gets figured out sooner than later.
Sooner than later, for sure. All right, man. So let's go to the one topic that I feel like did get the internet and TikTok ablaze. Drake on the Kai Cenat stream. I think Yachty actually sent it to him, but it was a snippet from a Drake and Yachty song called SOD, I think. Bro, that's what
there's like 3 names for it. SOD,
yeah.
Super Soak, Goodness Gracious.
Yeah. So there's a snippet of it. I think, did the Yachty feature verse also leak, or was just the Drake version?
I'm pretty sure I heard Yachty's verse as well.
I mean, dude, it's both. So we've heard the whole song then, because it's like
yeah, they call it snippet, but there's like 5 seconds.
Here's a 2.5 minute snippet. It's like, bro, that's an entire fucking song. But I know the internet went ablaze. I enjoyed the snippet. I will put that out there. The TikToks were funny of like, people like saying this guy's dead and then he's back, like whatever. We tell him to stop putting out songs, and I think he's actually dropped posts, the 6 Hearts, whatever thing. He's dropped like 7 new songs, and we told him to stop, and he won't listen to us. So it is what it is. But your thoughts on the whatever you heard from the snippet itself?
I think that the snippet sounded good. Like, I don't think it was trash or anything by any means, but similar to what I was saying about a lot of the recent releases, I think my issue is just everything's starting to kind of all sound like stuff I've already heard from each individual artist. Granted, Drake, obviously my expectations, just like everyone else, are gonna be a bit higher, but to me, I just feel like I've heard this song already before from Yachty and Drake, and I think when it comes to Drake, I need that like monster hit from him, like more upbeat, like rapidy rap type shit, kind of like first person shooter energy. And I know right now it's summer and he's kind of in a different bag, but for me it just wasn't a standout song, and for that reason I'm not really excited or care about the official release of it, but I'm not mad at it if he's having fun. And I mean, it sounds like they're having fun.
Yeah, I would just say I think that's like the overall theme I got from that snippet. It's like that seems to be the vibe he either is in or wants to portray he's in. And I'm not mad at it, because I feel like that's the vibe I'm trying to be in. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be in that like calm, chill, vibey type music right now, right? And I just feel like that's what that song is. That seemed like whatever's Gunna's goal on his album was, Drake did it in like a minute. You know what I mean? As far as like just smooth, him flowing. It's rapping, but not too much. It's kind of singing, but not too much. You know, like it just felt like a dope Drake flow. That was also like very, you know, par for the course for this time of the year. You know what I mean? Like, I know we want bangers, bro. And I agree. I want some bangers, but I also want shit to just fucking chill out and lounge to, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be out with my boys and like, oh, I know that song, but like still have a conversation, right? Or in the backyard and still chill, or in the garage and smoke and like not be overwhelmed by like shh, shh, like I gotta hear the lyrics type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what that song was to me. You know, it felt like it was a very chilled. Again, by no means like I think he did like lyrical exercise or anything, but it was he was spitting, you know, and I was fine with it, bro. So yeah, I'm excited for that release. That's probably one of the few releases that he's dropped that I'm most excited about, because I think for the Camila Cabello one, we were like, bro, why even do this, right? I think we were proven right, not by him, but she was fucking terrible. And then for the Gordo thing, I was like, I don't know, and it was like, all right, it's decent. But this is like the actual one that I'm like, all right, bro, if you're going to keep releasing music, at least I'm actually looking forward to this one.
Maybe for me, it's the way it was kind of presented to us, because
like via Kai Cenat, or
via Kai Cenat. I'm just like, I hate this like this illusion that, you know, the song just so happened to fall in the hands of this person or that person, and then like
so like the illusion of like the most popular streamer in the world just
like
happened to get
like supposedly organic shit, when it's very like with all of these big artists, fans love to argue that, you know, blah 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 is doing this and that on their own and pretend like marketing doesn't exist, when a lot of these guys use academics and Kai Cenat and this and that to get their streams up. And I think for me, I'm hoping Drake wasn't like, oh, let's release it via him and see the reaction, and if it's hot, we drop it. If it's not, we keep it and save it for like Yachty's mixtape or some shit. Like, I just hope that's not the case, because that's what would rub me the wrong way. Because if this just got released by Yachty straight up and that was it, like I wouldn't be as mad. But I think since it comes across as inauthentic, I'm like, it's not that good of a song to warrant this rollout, if that's the approach they were going for.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's the oh my god, let me check my inbox, and it's like I have this fucking a song from the biggest rapper in the world just here. Let me just play it. Like, why not? It's like, bro, like stop. Like we know this is planned, kind of a thing. But But yeah, again, I'm not mad at it though, dude. I enjoyed whatever little bit I heard. So when if it's a song, phenomenal. Hopefully it drops sooner than later. I want to do one more thing, dude, before we get into Heat of the Week. Did you get a chance to see the clip of Tommy Richman at the Spotify event singing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what were the comments saying about that?
I saw a lot of I saw mixed comments. Some were saying like, wow, he actually sounds like how he sounds on the song, or like I didn't realize he doesn't look like how he sounds. And then some comments were like, this is why I don't use auto-tune when I make my music. It was a mixed bag, but I understand why it was mixed, because I had mixed feelings at first, but I realized the way he's singing is actually pretty difficult and on point. If
not so, it's like not too far off from what the song actually sounds like, with the obviously tweaking of the engineering and all that shit.
Yeah, but that vocal style is kind of strange to begin with, so it's gonna sound even stranger when it's not on the fucking your Spotify, your phone.
That's the thing, bro. I think because that's such a difficult tune, they kind of create either organically, maybe, and they're like, oh, dude, do it again and we can fix it, kind of a thing. But to try to recreate that on a live stage with no auto tune or no back music, bro, that. For me, that was a miss, bro. Like, again, I appreciate the attempt, right? Because that shit's going to be hard. But, dog, when I saw that a couple of times, I was like, I don't know, bro. This guy might just be a TikTok artist after all. Like, that was my initial thought.
That was, so I watched it and listened to it a few times. I think the way he sung it isn't, I don't think the engineer is necessarily doing a whole lot to make it sound better. I think just live, like, that's not the style that is going to sound good regardless.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted it after I listened to it 3 times. I'm like, he's not the issue. I think it's just that style live is kind of weird.
Yeah, but when you're delivering it and people are gonna just take a snippet of that moment, they're gonna be like, "You're the issue." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're not good enough an artist. But do you know when his album's dropping by any chance? I know we didn't put it on the rundown. I just wanted to.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Because I'm still looking very much forward to that album.
Yeah,
because I think he's put out enough stuff that we're like, all right, bro, this. There's no way it's not going to be a good listen.
No, it's definitely gonna be fun. I like that "Devil Is a Lie" song that he followed up with. But in terms of the album release date, that I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like it's gonna come in August.
Oh, that'd be sick. I mean, you would think, right? I mean, I feel like he's had a buzz now pretty consistently since what? April, right? $1 Million Baby's been around since like April or so. That really like took off.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think 4.5 months of people knowing who the fuck you are, it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time. So yeah, shout out to him. Again, very interesting, but go on YouTube if you haven't seen that clip, or go on TikTok for like 2 seconds. You'll find it right away. Was there another topic you wanted to jump into before we get into Heat of the Week?
No, let's dive right in.
All right, episode 187 about to wrap up. But before, let's get into some Heat of the Week. I did the last couple weeks first. I'll let you go first again this week.
So my Heat of the Week, we already discussed this, but I would have to go with "Pressured Up"
nice.
by Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q. I'd say they're two of my favorite West Coast rappers. More so Schoolboy Q. I think they just are a lot more unique than the standard modern West Coast rapper. Besides Kendrick, of course. I think Kendrick's in a
he's in a different
field.
league. Yeah.
But I thought they did a really good job on the track. Listened to them multiple times this weekend, and I think for me at least, it was a standout on the album. And I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this collaboration because they complement each other very well. And I think they bring something unique that a lot of other West Coast rappers don't necessarily bring in terms of charisma and melody and everything. So definitely I'm gonna be playing that song for a very, very long time.
Yeah, isn't that interesting though? Like your favorite, because I agree with you, that two of your favorites West Coast rappers don't like. If you ask like an alien, you wouldn't be able to tell they were from like LA. You know what I mean? Like they don't sound like West Coast rappers. You know, like isn't that so ironic? You know what I mean?
I think Vince does to me in terms of like his just the way he says certain words, like very, like the West Coast like hard R, like pork the core. Like
yeah.
Like I think Vince Staples does that, but in terms of like the music he produces, it doesn't sound like a standard generic LA rapper at all.
Right. And that's so interesting, bro, because I think it's like, especially Vince, right? There's a lot of gang culture there, right? But he doesn't sound like a gang member, right? Like the same thing with Schoolboy Q. Like Schoolboy Q's giving you game on like crazy gang shit he's seen in his life, but he doesn't sound like a gang member, right? So I think it's like that. Like I think the ability to like communicate effectively, but like not turn off the listener, right? Because I feel like, unfortunately, for most, and this also happens in New York too, but like in the West Coast, because that accent's so different from like the rest of America, like when it's a gang related music and then you sound like you literally just stopped gang banging yesterday, right? It's hard to like truly dissect what you're saying because like, I don't know, it's just tough, bro. Like it's just tough. Like that's how I felt like watching the pop out special with like Kendrick. I'm just like, dog, like this is, or even some of the songs on the Mustard album, like 2 or 3 songs, I was like, bro, I'm not trying to hear this shit. Like it just sounds like the same, like every other gang related hip hop LA song I've heard before.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of it can be super regional, like with I'd say the same thing like you kind of alluded to with like drill rap out of New York. There's a handful of songs I love, and then a handful I'm like, I feel like I've heard this 8,000 times, and I also don't know what the fuck they're referencing, so it makes it even harder.
It's so specific.
Yeah. So
but that there's that one artist who does it well and who doesn't sound like everyone else. You're like, all right, cool. I'll fuck with you. So yeah, that's why. So that's a good one. Yeah, Schoolboy Q and Vince Staples do a good job of being different but still being very LA at the same time. So not mad at that one. For me, man, I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Lake Como, dude. Yeah, Gordo and Larry June, man. That was a surprise track that really just made me like, oh, all right, Larry June, like. And again, like it almost made me want to throw in a couple Larry June songs to see if there's more of this that I maybe like missed on my first couple listens. So yeah, that was very much like, again, like I love that the name of the song is Lake Como. Like that sounds like a song you're on like a small boat just like cruising to. But right before you go to a club to like get destroyed, you know, because I think there's a line that he says like, and then she was activated. And I was like, bro, this guy is a fucking narrator of like everything. It was such a good song, bro. It was such a good song. Again, that's why I think you need to listen to the album in a different setting, because the vibe on that album is very clear what he's trying to achieve, and I don't think he's too far off from achieving that.
No, I'm definitely gonna go back in and listen to the album. It's funny how like one song can make you reevaluate an entire artist's catalog or like distance. Yeah,
dude, that's how I feel right now about Larry June, 100%. Because I was just like, I don't get it. But now I'm like, yeah, I'll go back.
Well, if you do go back and find something else, definitely let me know.
I will. All right, broski, let's get out of here. But before we do, let the people know what we got going on.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all platforms. We also got the Spotify and Apple Music playlist, so peep the Heat of the Week selection there. And if you're on YouTube, check down below. We have merch. It's also on the website link. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, comment, do what you can to support the channel.
Yep. Keep commenting. Appreciate all that stuff. My dude, love you. Glad you made it back safe. See you next week.
Thank you.
Peace.